Who's gonna carry the boats? All right, so do you know why I demand that? Not for me. When I come out to every single audience, which you guys are one of the best ever. The reason why I demand that from the audience is because I know what darkness looks like. I know what it feels like to be alone with no motivation, no drive, no passion. And what has to come out of your fucking soul in the darkest of times is what you just did right there. So that's what I do. So people always, like, for the first 20-some years of my life, it was just darkness. But if you are able to get up every morning, have no passion, no drive, no motivation, no shit, and still get up with that kind of fire, you will be successful in life. I guarantee you that.
It was okay?
That was okay.
It was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. One of the best is not the best, but we tried. I know, I know. All right, well, first of all, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being who you are, seriously. And thanks for just being straight, no bullshit.
Appreciate it.
Because, and I was saying this day backstage, we've been doing this together for 10 years now. Some of you have been here for 10 days, some of you have been here for 3 years, 10 years. And I've probably in 10 years said, this book changed my life. Not many, I'll be honest with you. The only one I read every day is the Bible. And I read, but if you've not read, and I'll read them all now, and I ain't bullshitting either, because when I started reading, it hurt me. Honestly, it really screwed me up, because I started feeling the pain.
Right.
And it was like it was hurting me more, because the whole title is It Can't Hurt Me. We have all these amazing people out here, dude, and they're great human beings. But it is, whatever it is in their life is hurting them, whatever it happens to be. They eat what they kill here. That's it. Everybody you see out here, commission-based sales. Every one of them. You've seen a bunch up on stage, killing it. They're great. But there's some right now, David, that are trying to figure out what to do tomorrow, next week, month. There's people out here right now, they ain't going to raise their hands because you're here. They're excited. But they're thinking about quitting. They're thinking about it. What would you say to just about that mindset and what it takes to do what we're doing? Because the pain is what I hear about, man. And you ain't nobody talks about that better than you.
Well, first of all, what you guys gotta understand, guys and gals gotta understand, is that I keep it real. I'm not superhuman. I'm definitely not Superman. So when I talk to you all, understand these are the things that I had to tell myself. So, you know, a lot of people come up here and start talking to you and they think they have all the damn answers and shit, and they kind of talk down on people. No. I know exactly what it feels like to be lost, to want to quit every day of your life. And that's kind of what created me. So on my bad days, that's where all this taking souls and shit comes from. So on my bad days, I had to imagine a false reality. So for me, for instance, I was 300 pounds. A lot of you guys know my backstory. And a black kid, I was the only 36th African-American Navy SEAL in over 80 years. So think about this, though. Think about how I wanted to quit. I was afraid of the water. My favorite meal was chocolate milkshakes with chocolate donuts. I didn't run, and I was afraid of the water, and I was 300 pounds. And I have a pipe dream of going to go be a Navy SEAL. Yeah, exactly. You should be laughing. Every morning I woke up, and I had less than 3 months to lose 106 pounds to get into the Navy. Every morning I woke up, I wanted to quit. During runs, I quit. During my diet, I quit. During swims, I quit. I quit every single day during this 2.5 months. But at the end of the day, what kept me going was I saw a video of 18 men graduating from Navy SEALs training. And all I thought about was, what if What if my black ass can be up there on that fucking stage one day and I can pull off this fucking miracle that no one saw? There wasn't no fucking social media. There wasn't no watch David Goggins lose 106 pounds in 2.5 months. There wasn't no, diet plan and shit. No, there was nothing. No one saw it. My mom, she's here in the audience right now. She saw it, and she's the only one that saw the transformation. But I knew it. I saw it. The whole accountability mirror that I talk about and Can't Hurt Me, every morning I woke up, I had a real conversation with that dirty mirror. And every day, the same answer came back to me. Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't? And so every day I kept saying that. I kept saying that. And before I knew it, 2.5 months later, I lost the weight and I was going to Navy SEAL training.
So, which, it sounds so fucking crazy that you're afraid of water. Terrified of water, and decided, fuck it, I'm gonna join the SEALs. That's a good idea. The guy you talk about in your book, right? Because you were trying to figure out what to do. You had that whole medical issue, right? And then you went back. What did that guy see in you? Because that guy, right? That one was the one who's like, here's what you got to do. Here's he saw something. What did he see in you at that time that you didn't see?
I don't know if he saw anything.
Okay.
Basically, what he was doing for me was doing his job.
Got it.
No one else. So when I walked up to every recruiter, and there was a lot of them, and I would always go back to my mom's house upset, but every recruiter saw what they saw. And that's the thing you guys got to get from me right now. A lot of people see what they see. Maybe you're out of shape. Maybe you look lazy. Maybe you look slovenly. Maybe your outward appearance is not what it should be. No one saw what was inside of me. And that's the one thing I was afraid to pull this out, because who I was afraid kid, but something always said, man, you got more in you. And what this guy did was just did his job. He looked at me, I said, I want to be a SEAL. He goes, you got to do this, 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 and this. Every other recruiter was like, you're 300 fucking pounds, bro. Like you walking into my office with a chocolate milkshake. So I don't blame them, because what they saw, I would have said the same shit. But this one recruiter, Steven Saljo, I walked in, he goes, I'm gonna do my job. I don't think this kid's gonna make it. There's no way, but I'm gonna do my job. And just by him giving me an opportunity, I gave the guy a lot of money a couple years ago. And he's like, what's this for? This is literally 20-some years ago, I find Steven Saljo again, and I gave him money. He goes, what the hell you give me money for? I go, because you did your fucking job. And if you didn't do your job, I would never have found David Goggins. Wow. So I gave him a fucking check for doing his fucking job.
Damn.
And that's all he did.
Well, I got to be honest with you, David, before you got here. And by the way, your mom's amazing, but she's like watching you. You're in the room, you're like, they watching mother effing everything that's going on. She looking over here, I look at David, she looking at David. I'm like, hell, if this goes bad, I don't stand a damn chance.
She's got some essay, man.
Yo.
She's got some essay.
For real. So, my man brought in, and this, it gets to a question, it's real important from an accountability standpoint. So my man brought in a plate of cookies, 15 sugar cookies. And I didn't say nothing. He said, oh shit, I gotta get rid of the cookies, right? David's coming. So he got rid of the cookies. And I said, dude, why are you more worried about David seeing the cookies than you eating the cookies?
Right, right.
You probably ain't gonna see David again after today, except for on YouTube. Like, what's he gonna do to you? How do people, because that happens to you, it's got to.
Oh, yeah.
People around you like, dude, I thought I was supposed to start warming up. He went back, he about 9 miles back there. I said, where'd David? They go, he just keeps walking around. He stood still, not at all. And I'm walking around, I don't even know why I'm walking around, because I feel bad about myself. How do we get people to be more accountable to themselves than they are everybody else who actually doesn't even matter? They're not even a stakeholder in their life.
That was the one thing that I was trapped in. So a lot of people don't know this story about me. But when I was coming up, so I went to an all-white school for a while, and then I went to a majority black school for a short period of time. And I went to majority black school. See, I always wanted to be, so I wanted to be a priest first. No one knows that. And then after that, I'm like, I want to go be in special operations. Like I said, there's only 36 African Americans. So you don't walk around a black community talking about, I want to go be in special operations. So I tried to fit in. And by me trying to fit in with every group I was in, I lost myself. And so why I'm so polarizing now is because either you fucking like me or you fucking don't. And the reason why I was walking so much backstage, I'm nervous as fuck to be out here in front of these people. Yeah.
For real.
My mom would tell you a story. When I was in elementary school, we moved from my dad's place where I got my ass beat. I had a lot of toxic stress. Hair was falling out of my head. I had a bunch of white splotches. And the biggest thing was I stuttered like a motherfucker. Bad. It's funny now. The shit wasn't funny when you were a fucking kid. So every time I get on stage, I think about one thing. We had a Christmas play. And I was in maybe second, third grade, whatever it was, didn't matter. I was young, but I stuttered horribly bad. And I'll never forget, the teacher gave me the smallest line possible because she knew this could be a fucking train wreck. He may get up there and just act a fool. So I got up there and I acted a fool. And I just walked off fucking stage. I couldn't say shit. I just went up there and just started just doing my shit. Just started break dancing at the mouth. So I walk off, and every time I get on stage, I have to overcome that one feeling of looking out in the audience and everybody and saying, oh, shit. Because I didn't cuss when I said it in my mind. There was no cuss words up there, but when I said, so what happens is you have to gain this confidence because you lose yourself because you're always trying to hide from the stuttering or you're trying to hide from, I wasn't that smart. So I hid there. I hid because I was only a black person. I hid because I wanted to be a special, I was constantly hiding from these groups of people because I wanted to be accepted. And the more I hid, the more David Goggins became nothing. There was no David Goggins. I was you when I was around you. I was Mary around Mary. I was John around John. There was no David Goggins. And along this journey, when I started losing weight, and I had so many bad days in my life, so many bad days from growing up, even now. There wasn't nobody fucking there but David Goggins. Mm-hmm. God was there, but God said, hey, motherfucker, I'm testing you today. Then I'm gonna test you tomorrow. Then I'm gonna test you again. I'm gonna let you alone, man. Pray all the fuck you want. Pray. Get on your knees, boy, pray. I'm gonna still kick your ass. Yeah. So the more I realized this is my journey, and the more I realized, where's all my friends? They ain't fucking nowhere around. It was you. So you better figure out who the fuck you are on this journey. And those few people many people don't like you, so be it. But you first have to figure out you because a lot of people die with a lot of untapped potential because they're trying to be somebody that they're not.
Yeah.
So I was able to figure out my own potential by figuring out me.
Dude, I was really prepared for you to be hardcore as shit, but you're fucking funny. Like, really funny. I didn't know that. Like, really funny. And I want to get to, because I was watching something you posted the other day, which I think was great, because what a lot of the men and women in here work with, David, is, you know, we call people up and sell them life insurance, and most of the people tend to get a pretty good grasp on that, right? Everybody's going to die. You need life insurance. You asked for it. Most people get pretty good grasp on that and are able to monetize it and make a living. And then they have a choice to build a business and actually help other people. And I actually didn't start hiring people because I thought about spread. I had friends that had no job. They were broke. And I'm like, yo, you should do this. They're like, why? I'm like, it's easy. Like, that was how I started building a business. But a lot of the men and women we have here are paralyzed. They want to talk about it. They want to post. They want to talk to their friends, their family. They want to post something on social media. But they're truly terrified. If we could polygraph everybody in here, 80% of them would blow up when we said, are you worried about what people think if you post and try to recruit? And you had posted something recently about how many people don't even follow you. Like, I didn't know that shit. Like, they don't even follow you, but they go on to comment. Like, they don't follow you.
23 million non-followers.
23 million people go on to talk shit, don't even follow you. They won't follow you. They don't want to see your content, but then they seek it out, see it, and then talk about it. How do you help everybody here truly, because I suck at a lot, but I'm like, a lot. But I'm like, dude, I really just don't care what anybody thinks at all. Like, if I come up here and do this interview and they're like, that was terrible. If you're like, dude, that was awful. I'm like, dude, I gave it everything I got. Like, I did the best I could and try to screw it up and give me feedback, I'll get better. How do we empower everybody in here? How do you empower everybody in here to just truly proceed, do whatever the hell they want with their business, ask everybody they run into? There's hundreds of millions of people in America. We're for our business, we're a good, big company, right? But none of that matters. We could be 10 times the size and still have too many people out there with no life insurance. How do we get these men and women to recruit people and not give a shit what anybody thinks or says about them?
So I have a question for you all, but only one person can answer it. What is your biggest fear? Why are you paralyzed? What makes you nervous to just go out there and just be who you are and do what you have to do? I want to see one hand raised up to answer this question. You in the front. What is it? Past experience. So failures. Okay, that's the perfect answer. And we did not set this up. So everybody asked me, how the hell did I become successful when abused mindset, toxic stress, couldn't read and write, fat, name it, sickle cell. I can't even be in the military nowadays with sickle cell. How the hell did I become successful when I had no passion, no drive, no nothing? And I'm gonna answer your question about what are you afraid of, right? And you said failure. Everybody's afraid of failure. It's embarrassing as shit. So how do you think I became successful when I failed every day of my life until I succeeded, which took a long time? The first thing I did was all of you in this room want to be successful as hell. But the journey to success comes with a lot of what? Failure. So why the fuck don't you teach yourself, like I taught myself, is how to fail properly? It's not saying be a failure. When I was 300 pounds, people think, oh, you really thought you could be a Navy SEAL? No. I think I was gonna fucking lose the weight. But what it was how I was able to get over all the failure and all the embarrassment of failing was I told myself, you are gonna have to learn how to get up extremely fast because you are gonna have a million setbacks on this journey. And that's how I literally taught myself how to fail first. Because I knew that if I was afraid of failure, I would have never been able to be a Navy SEAL. I would have never been able to get to where I'm at today. So I went through, and I literally at 300 pounds, or 297 to be exact, I sat back and I visualized how this journey is gonna look. In the first several months was nothing but failure. So how am I gonna get up the next morning when I failed the day before? How am I gonna eat this meal when I failed and I got fries and a milkshake again when I was supposed to get grilled chicken and rice? So I went through and I taught myself how to fail. And when you do that, you're able to get up extremely fast and you no longer care about the end result because you know if I want to be way up here, it's going to take a bunch of small micro failures along the way. But you have to understand that that is part of the process. When you want to achieve the highest goal of all time, you are going to have to learn how to get your ass kicked all the way up that damn mountain. And then when you get up the mountain, the oxygen up there is very thin. It's hard to breathe. So it's not a lot of fun up there either. So all the way, if you want to be successful, you got the bottom that sucks, the middle is extremely hard, and the top, it sucks worse than all of it. So you better learn how to get the oxygen at the very top. So why do you care about what people are thinking when they're not trying to go where the fuck you're trying to go? And that's the whole moral of the story.
So we have, in our business, it's not a typical sales deal, right? Like when I was in real estate, if I didn't sell you a house, I didn't sell you a house. You had a place to live, you know. If I didn't sell you, I stole construction material. If you're in solar and don't sell somebody solar, it's all good. In our business, if we don't make a sale, somebody dies with zero life insurance or not enough. That's honestly no bullshit. I was a social worker 14 years, found this. I was like, dude, this is social work, but I get paid more. And then I can bring people on. If all these men and women work with you and you could get them to, because that's what I try to get to. And I need to get a million times better at it. Because I'm actually, people are like, how'd you sell a lot? I didn't want to leave anybody unprotected. And shit, if I had to piss them off, upset them, make them uncomfortable, make them give me shit, make them judge me, make whatever I had to do, I wanted them. And when I got my first death claim, 3 months in, 32-year-old dude died in a motorcycle accident, got $250,000, I was like, oh, everybody's getting covered. What's your advice? What is your advice, David, on, because I always went to, what's the worst thing that can happen? Well, shit, I can screw this family up forever. Nobody came to my mom's apartment when my grandma died. We had no life insurance. Grandpa, aunts, uncles, friends. I didn't even know what life insurance was until I got to be old and got damn life insurance. I didn't have life insurance until I got my life insurance license. What's your advice to all of us, me included, on how we approach that, knowing that we can really screw things up if we don't do everything we can. We can't make everybody buy it. But hell, we gotta give more. And in our deal, like you're here, clients over here. Until you're uncomfortable and they're uncomfortable, there's no frickin' sale. No way, because they sit here, you sit there, you give them your pitch, but you've got to get them uncomfortable. What's your advice for me and the rest of us on getting people uncomfortable and understand the consequences of what can happen if we don't do our job?
Well, this is the thing. He said uncomfortable about 3 or 4 times. You guys heard that, right? Your job is to get people uncomfortable. It sucks. I worked with a guy one time that made $75,000 a year, and his job was very similar to yours, and now he makes over $1 million. He called me up 5 years ago and said, I want you to be my coach. And I taught him one thing. I had him out here doing all kind of crazy shit. He goes, why are you doing this? I go, because your main job is to make people uncomfortable. But it's hard to make someone uncomfortable when you've never been uncomfortable yourself. So a lot of people in this room aren't pushing themselves to that uncomfortable place. And that is the first thing you have to know what uncomfortable feels like. So when you're pushing someone to that place, you know how to talk them through it. Because if you haven't experienced it and you haven't gotten the knowledge from it, it is impossible to push someone there, because the second they get uncomfortable, you are now uncomfortable. You are now in your feelings. You are now feeling bad for this person. You now feel that they're uncomfortable because you don't know how to walk them through the uncomfort. And that is the most important thing that you have to learn. Is there is theorists and there's practitioners. A lot of theorists will tell you how uncomfortable feels. The practitioners are the ones that have experienced uncomfortable, and they know exactly the steps on how to get through being uncomfortable. So then you now have the science about it. So while you're talking to this individual and they're feeling uncomfortable, you know exactly how to break them down and find a way in to their heart so they come out with the insurance that they need in the long run.
It's amazing. One of the other things we struggle a lot with is, and it might be the same with people that work out, competing, is, and I was talking to a guy earlier this morning, I said, what's your biggest issue? He said, I found a way to make money, And then he said to me, but I self-sabotage, which I think is bullshit. In my opinion, I think that's just a made-up, like it's an awesome way to let people off the hook. Oh, you just didn't do it. No, dude, you didn't do the work. You didn't wake up and go, I'm going to destroy it. All of a sudden, I'm not accountable. But the struggle has been for a lot of folks is, I didn't want to be on the hamster wheel for the next 60 years. When I got my life insurance license, what scared me the most was I was going to people's houses that were 75 years old, and they like were broke as all shit. And I'm like, I don't ever want to like outlive any money and be able to not support myself. The complacency that sets in, because I was raised, if we had, and again, you got to figure out what your motivator is. Mine was never money, it was this. I don't know that I saw this or didn't see this, but I'm like, if these idiots, because I met them, if they can run a company, and I've met them, shit, I can do it too. But a lot of folks get here and money's their barometer. I have enough to live, so I'm good. Maybe the gentleman that you coach, maybe someone, I have enough to live, so I'm good. What's your advice on people actually realizing there's a hell of a lot more, and they'll do it. They'll come in here, and they'll work 60 hours a week, and then 40 hours a week, and then I got money. Then they go on vacation for 3 weeks. Right. And then they want to know what the problem is. And in our business, it's an advanced business, so the money can charge back. How do you help us understand to keep freaking going, especially when it feels good? Like it's getting good. How do we make it great or not go backwards?
So a lot of you will not agree with this, which is fine. So don't take this literally, because don't ever cap this. But I cap my success. I'm not saying cap your money. I'm not saying any of that. I say this is just my term. So every single year, I've made millions of dollars. Very well off. I don't need to work ever again. But every year I go to British Columbia and I jump out of airplanes, and I'm a smoke jumper. And I lose about $5 million a year to smoke jump for 4 to 5 months a year. And everybody goes, why the hell do you do that? Because on my journey, trying to get to where I'm in today, I found out that all the knowledge for me came at the bottom. And how I stay hungry is I literally go back to the bottom. I go back, I pick up a shovel, I pick up a Pulaski, someone's in charge of me, some 20-some-year-old kid. I'm damn near 50 fucking years old. I got some 20-year-old kid still digging in his nose and digging his ass in charge of me. But it humbles me because I want to be the best. And a lot of people in here, they might just be okay with just that money to live. And that's the thing that I realized a long time ago in my life, is there's some people I can't motivate. There's some people in this room that when I speak, they're rolling their eyes. This guy's, fucking David Goggins, ridiculous shit. His passion, his motivation, his drive is all fucking crazy. It is. Because I found out a long time ago what I'm supposed to be in this world. And that hunger is going to stay with me until I'm dead. You have to have that kind of want in your life. If you're fine with waking up every morning and having just enough to go on vacation and come back and you work again, that's good for you. But you're in this room for a fucking reason. And a lot of you in this room will leave this conference and you will go bust your ass. And you'll be motivated as hell because you heard somebody speak and the fire is built up. But guess what happens 4 months from now? There's a trend in every single job. They have a conference, they're kicking ass, and then it's like, oh, fuck, I don't have any more motivation. Man, I was killing it last 4 months. What the fuck happened? This conference took you and elevated you to the next fucking level. But then the real you came out. The real you might be unmotivated, might have no determination, no passion, no drive. But like I said, why the fuck did I have you all yell at the top of your lungs when I came out? Because on those dark days, you still have to find more. And if you don't want to find more for yourself, look to your left and look to your right. If you got a mom, a dad, a wife, a husband, kids, make sure you may be fine with that little bit of money you have and you're good try to make generational fucking wealth.
Amen.
If you're good, be that person when a fucking fire happens in a room like this. I guarantee most of you motherfuckers can look at me. Where's Goggins going? I'm gonna follow that motherfucker. You wanna be that motherfucker for your family. That when all hell breaks loose, they know that even though you're good by yourself, you got a family to take care of, and you have made enough for them that they fall on their fucking ass, you can pick them up. So there's a lot of things out there that should keep you going in life, and if that's not enough, you need to go look at that dirty mirror again and see why you're really doing it for.
Wow. So when you listen, and I'm 10 years, I've been doing this 15. 10 years, I've been doing we do these meetings, and this is the first time. First of all, I've been sober 23 years, but thank you. But sitting next to you is the closest I've felt to being back smoking crack and sniffing cocaine. And I'm just being honest, I'm not lying, I'm being honest, sorry, I'm honest. I feel like we're getting ready, I'm too old, I'm 51, but I feel like we're getting ready to take the football field, and I just played around with an 8-ball, and I'm ready to go, and we're gonna kill somebody. Like, that's how I actually feel, which means the shit's contagious. And I've never met anybody that I've sat next to, I met a lot of smarter people, but I ain't met nobody that had more energy than me. And I'm like, he's straight as shit, he's sober. It's contagious. Yeah. And I love what you said, be that for your family, right? Because when people come up and go, my dad, I was talking to Sean, his kid, Sean Jr., he's like, I'm like, no, your dad's it, dude. Like, your dad has his own business. I ain't your dad's boss. Everybody's independent. I ain't your dad's boss. Your dad's the boss of your family. All these folks have to understand, and I want you to speak to this, please. Everybody on their team's watching them. Every freaking, and by the way, nobody here is rolling their eyes talking shit about you. I promise you. Number one, they're scared you might see them from here. And number two, peer pressure is the most powerful pressure in the world. Someone next to them will be like, dude, stop shaking your freaking head or I'll hit you and I'll keep spinning around. Guarantee it. Promise you. Talk to us about that, because that's what kills me. I had a guy tell me one day, he goes, you know why that guy's team don't grow? I go, no. He goes, dumps his shit downhill. He has a bad day, he dumps it on everybody, and he paralyzes them. Everybody, and I watch these people watch them. They're watching their moves. They're feeling their energy, good or bad. I've been up here on stage doing these things with people that charge way too much money, that are uber famous. I'd rather be shoving thumbtacks in my eyeball. It's so fucking bad. Seriously, help us understand. Everybody's watching. Everybody.
The thing about it is, you all know everybody's watching. And this is the thing. So have you guys heard of my thing called taking souls?
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who haven't, I'm gonna give you a short story. So everybody's watching. And so when I started figuring out what I want to be in life, I want to be a leader. I want to be the leader, like I said, when a fire breaks out, they look at you. And what that means is this. It was Wednesday of my second hell week. We had been up the whole time, hadn't gotten any sleep. And so there's about 3 boat crews left, which means there's not many people left. Like over, 80, 90 people had quit. We're down to just 3 boat crews. So we go into the med check, and they go in, they check us out. Everybody is hypothermic, everybody's all jacked up. And Wednesday, you're a zombie. That's what the pass down. So the pass down is through years. They tell you on Wednesday you're a zombie. You're walking around like this because you don't want your clothes to touch you because you're soaking wet. You just got out of the ocean and you're just pissing on yourself to get warm. So you like that, didn't you? So basically what happens is you go to med check. They have these aid crates. The aid crates have your nice dry clothes in them, but what happens is the instructors are there fucking putting water in them. So those dry clothes are now fucking wet. And all the students are just like poopy pants, like fuck. I gotta put these fucking wet clothes on, and they're putting them on slow, and the instructors are yelling. But now, the instructors know that they're zombies, because the instructors were zombies on Wednesday, so they're giving us a little bit of leash. This goes somewhere, so let's work with me for a second. So we got 3 boats. Boat Crew 1, Boat Crew 2, and the Smurf Crew. The Smurf Crew has a Smurf on the front of the boat because they're the shortest guys in the class. Smurf Crew. So Boat Crew 1, they're the tallest guys. Boat Crew 2, the second tallest guys, and so on and so forth. There's only 3 boat crews up here. So everybody gets under their boat, and they're standing there with the boat on top of their head, and everybody's doing this shit. To answer your question, I look back, I am fucked up. My feet, my hands, my neck, my whole body's just messed up. And I'm looking at, like everything slowed down. I'm looking at all these people under these boats, and they're just sitting there jackhammering, and heads are down, and the motivation is gone. And I said, David, this is exactly where you wanted to. This is your time. This is your time. You're amongst the baddest motherfuckers in the world right now. And everybody's fucked up. This is my internal dialogue right now. What are you gonna fucking do, man? This is your shot, man. This is your fucking shot. I'm in the front of the boat crew. The front of the boat is the heaviest part of the boat. I'm looking at my boat crew, and they're all just fucking, I want this to end. But it's not gonna end till Friday. We got 2 more fucking days of this shit. So I'm like in the front of the boat, I'm like, you know what, man? So the instructors are at Boat Crew 1, they're saying, all right, motherfuckers, pick the boat up. And we've been picking this boat up now forever, but now for some reason, no one can pick the fucking boat up. So here they are. And it's going back to their head. So I'm looking at them, I go, okay, look, guys. So I turn around my boat crew, there's 5 guys behind me. I said, look, motherfuckers, don't be a fucking punk today. I want you to look at these fucking instructors, because they were where we were years ago, under these boats. And I want them to think about, they'd never seen a boat crew like Boat Crew 2. We're gonna fucking take their motherfucking souls today. So I start to juice these and so we get juiced up. False motivation becomes what? Real motivation. So now they're starting to feel the juice. So the instructors come by, all right, Boat Crew 2, but right now, Boat Crew 2 has said, fuck it. We're gonna pick the boat up before you tell us to pick the boat up. So the boat's up. Now we're starting to boat press it. And all we're saying is you can't hurt Boat Crew 2. And now our boat crew puts the boat down. They let us put the boat down because we showed something that no one else had. So by us putting out more, we got a chance to rest. So as we're resting, I turn around to our boat crew. It says, all these fucking instructors, I want to make sure from Wednesday to Friday, they cannot sleep with their fucking wives because they're thinking about Boat Crew 2. So, to answer your question, you want to be that one motherfucker that every day, whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, you lost every dime, your mom died, your dad died. You come and you bring the energy that it takes to make a team function at the highest fucking level every day. And that's the person you want to be every day of your life.
Wow. So I didn't, I was reading your biography on all of the races, and I got tired just reading it. Then I read it again. But I did not know, I knew early that mission and these races, runs, you started that to raise money.
Right.
Can you tell us about that?
You want the whole story? Or just...
Sure. You do what you want, bro. It's your stage.
All right. So basically, how this all started for me, a lot of you may know the story, but after I became a Navy SEAL, you guys heard of Lone Survivor?
Yep.
Well, Marcus Luttrell is one of my best friends. And so is his twin brother, Morgan Luttrell. So, funny story about Marcus and Morgan, it's actually in my audio book, Can't Hurt Me, is that Morgan was not in the military. Marcus was in the military first. Long story short, Marcus couldn't run for shit. Morgan ran one of his 4-mile time runs. They didn't even know it was a flop of twins and passed it for Marcus. Anyway, little inside tip. So what happened was Marcus was on a mission. Mission went bad. A bunch of guys died. I was in 3 hell weeks. So damn near everybody on that op, I was in hell week with. So when I heard the news, I was in military freefall school with Marcus's twin brother, Morgan. And I got the call telling me that I have to tell Morgan that Marcus was dead. Marcus was not dead. They thought he was dead. So I told Morgan they believe that Marcus is dead. They can't find him. Everybody else is dead. They can't find Marcus. They believe he's dead. Morgan looked at me and said, he's not. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about, bro? He was right. He wasn't dead. 4 days later, Morgan calls me up. Hey, bro, they found my fucking brother. Go suck it. I was like, all right. So, at this time, I weighed 191 when I joined the military. I went to 250 after I became a Navy SEAL. So that story touched me so much that I started Googling different races. I wanted to raise money for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. It's a foundation that if your dad was in the military, he's a special operator, he died, your son or daughter would get full tuition to go to college. So I'm like, I'm gonna go do this. But being a Navy SEAL, I couldn't do a hot dog or hamburger competition, do something like that. So I looked up the 10 hardest races in the world. And what came up was the Badwater 135. And me not being an ultra runner, my workout was literally, I hit the weights every day, and Sunday, I did the elliptical trainer for 20 fucking minutes. No cardio, that's all I did for cardio. So I Googled this shit, and what came up was the Badwater 135. So I called the race director up and said, hey man, I want to do this race to raise money for this foundation. He goes, are you an ultra runner? I was like, what is that? He's like, do you run 100-mile races? Or I go, 100-mile races? I didn't even know this shit even existed. So long story short, he goes, look man, you gotta run 100 miles in 24 hours or less to get into the Badwater. And if you can do that, I will consider you in my race. The application process ended in January. I called the cat up in November. And he said, well, if you really want to get in the race, there is a race in San Diego called the San Diego One Day. I call him up on a Wednesday. This race was Saturday. I had done no running. And he goes, okay, check it out. You get in it, you run 100 miles, 24 hours, I consider you my race. So there's a 1-mile track in San Diego. It's called the San Diego One Day. You want to run a 1-mile track, see how far you can get. So I said, fuck it. I signed up for the race. At the time I was married, I go to Walmart, get a blue lawn chair. I have Ritz crackers and Mileplex. That's what I have for the whole damn race. So I realized I'm gonna see this chair every single 1-mile loop, and I'll get some Mileplex and a Ritz cracker. Stupid. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. But I'm gonna cut to the chase. Here I am, I get to mile 70, and I never ran past 20 miles in my entire fucking life. And I'm in this chair at mile 70. What do you think happens to you when you are sucking on a Ritz cracker ball because your mouth is dehydrated and all fucked up, and you're drinking Mileplex? What do you think happens to you at mile 70? Being that you never trained for this and haven't gone that far in your life, your body starts to literally die and break down. So I'm sitting there in this chair, and I have to go to the bathroom. Haven't gone to the bathroom in 12, 13 hours. The bathroom's from me to the damn wall right there. So I'm trying to get up, but I can't get up. My blood pressure's all messed up. And I look over, and I look at my ex-wife, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take a shit on myself right now. Because I can't get up, because my blood pressure's all fucked up. And I'm dizzy as shit. So I'm sitting there shitting up my back and peeing blood down my leg. I got 30 fucking miles to go. And this is where I'm at right now. And there's one thing a black man never wants to fucking hear. She looked at me and she said, "You're starting to turn white." It's a fucking long day. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at her, and this is where the 40% rule came from. So I'm trying to raise this money, and I'm all jacked up. So in life, you guys are gonna come to a point in your life, maybe not quite this fucked up, but where you don't wanna go on anymore. So what I do is I quit. I don't really quit. I let my mind know that we're gonna fucking bag it for today. 70 miles in, I'm good. But I didn't quit yet. But I'm telling myself I'm gonna quit. I'm sitting there in this chair, and I'm like, okay, man, I can't even get the fuck up. I'm really messed up. I'm got shit everywhere, and this is messed up. So I'm cleaning myself up, and there's an aid station that I haven't been using that has peanut butter and jelly, salt tablets, and bananas, real food that I fucking need some water and shit right now. I need something. So I have my ex-wife bring me over some food. I'm gonna sit here, because I'm gonna quit pretty soon, but just not yet. Let me get cleaned up first. Let me get something to eat. What this does to your mind is it takes pressure off of your brain for a second. 30 more fucking miles you don't want to think about when you got shit up your back. So I'm sitting there and I'm eating some food. And I'm like, okay, man, my blood pressure's a little bit better. I'm gonna walk to the car. But before I walk to the car, it'd be pretty badass if I can walk 1 mile. And then I'll quit. I walked a mile. Long story short, that 1 mile became 30 fucking miles. And that's the thing that we do a lot in life. What we do is when we have a goal. My goal was to raise money for this foundation. And I'm not saying go to my extent. This is all, take what I say with the grain. Just take it. Take little bits of what I say. You're not trying to be fucking David Goggins. You're trying to be the best you possible. But that requires knowing how to take mental breaks when shit gets hard. It's not quitting. Just take a fucking break for a second and get your breath. Because your mind is panicked. You're sporadic. It's called a 1 second decision. I saw so many people who could have graduated Navy SEAL training, but they get in that fucking cold water during Hell Week. Think about Hell Week. Hell Week is 5 days, 130 hours of continuous training. You might get 2 hours of sleep, but you go through 3 to 5 weeks of training before you get to Hell Week. So all Hell Week is no sleep. It's the same shit you were doing. Nothing different. But your mind spazzes the fuck out hour 1 when they put you in that cold water that you've been in 1,000 times. You get in that cold water and you freak out. You don't remember that I've been in this water before 1,000 times. You don't remember I've done this shit before. So in that 1 second decision, your mind can't process 130 hours. It's too much. So you quit. And once you quit, you take that warm shower. And guess what happens? You have regret. So you have to learn how to manage that 1 second decision. And what that is this. If you do 130 hours, every second you have to win. If you lose 1 fucking second of that 130 hours, you will not be a Navy SEAL. In life, it's the same way. If you lose 1 second, not take a break, if you make a bad decision and just hang it up in that 1 second, you will fucking regret it. You must win every second. You must be in control of your life every second of your life, or you will lose. So that's the biggest thing. Never forget your goals. Many dreams die while suffering. Don't be one of those people whose dreams die while you're suffering. Learn to manage your mind.
Wow. Unbelievable. All right, we're wrapping up. I need your help with something. We wrap up here after you close it out. We have a dinner break. We got an award ceremony. We give out, we got 5,000 people. We probably got 500 people who started to get awards. They'll be here. They're getting awards. The best thing that anybody ever did to me when I got in the insurance business, the guy made me go to the award ceremony. I've been there for 4 months. I said, I've been here 4 months. He said, I want you to go to the ceremony. I want you to see the people get the awards. And I want you to realize that if they can do it, shit, you definitely can do it. I want you to sit in your chair and think about what it feel like when you go achieve it. I went like he told me to, and I watched. And I was like, the dude just tripped over the stairs. The dude went the wrong way. The number one guy talked about himself for 45 minutes. And the dude said, I'll never do that when I take that award next year because that was really egotistical. Can you help me speak life into the people that are thinking about going and getting dinner, going and getting drunk, going to watch a game, and convincing them that coming back here is a great decision for their family?
There's a phrase I always say, and this phrase needs to stick with you for the rest of your life. There's a lot of people who want to go back, watch the game, get a drink, bag it. They want to bag the rest of the day. But the question is, are you done yet? Are you truly finished with what you came to do? And so my phrase that I've said to myself for a lot of years, and I say it in the darkest of times, don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. So remember that. Are you done? A lot of you are not done. So don't sit back and be that bad team member, because everybody's watching you and everybody's gonna know you fucking bagged it. This is all part of being a fucking leader. Being a leader fucking sucks. You do everything in life that you do not want to do. You are unhappy 90% of your life. But that means that other people are eating because of you. They're living because of you. They're achieving because of you. So are you really in that bad a shape? So make a decision tonight. Do you want to be a leader, or do you want to be that person who just bags it and does their own shit? And then you can ask yourself that question. When you go home after bagging it, look in that dirty mirror and ask yourself one question. Do I really have what it takes to be a fucking leader? I'll answer that question for you. No.